A bridge on the brink. The Gordie Howe International Bridge's uncertain future. The Gordie Howe International Bridge, a massive $6.4 billion project designed to link Detroit and Windsor, has reached a significant construction milestone. The removal of the tower cranes at the center of the span signals that the physical structure is nearly complete, with Canadian and American flags now proudly in place where the two decks meet. Officials from the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, WDBA, report that the bridge is 98% done, with a projected completion date in the fall of 2025. However, this optimistic outlook is clouded by a new report and a noticeable lack of a specific opening date. While construction is nearly finished, the question of when the bridge will actually open to the public remains unanswered. A report suggests a possible 6-month delay, and when CTV News and other outlets reached out to the WDBA for clarification, they received a statement from Chief Relations Officer Heather Grondin. She stated that, as with any major construction project, at this stage, it's too early to offer a specific opening date. This ambiguity raises concerns about the final 2% of the project, which involves critical handover processes to the border agencies of both countries. The elephant in the room: Trump's stance and national security. Amidst the technical details and official statements, a more profound narrative is at play. The completion of this bridge is not just an infrastructure story. It is a tale of shifting political and security priorities. From one perspective, the entire project is seen through the lens of national security, particularly under the Trump administration. The argument is that while the bridge was marketed as a crown jewel for cross-border trade, it also represented a potential highway for risk. The narrative suggests that Donald Trump saw the bridge not just as a route for commerce, but as an open door for fentanyl, illegal crossings, and cartel pipelines. This perspective posits that Trump's intervention was not about politics or economics, but about a fundamental need to protect American jobs and secure families. In this view, he slammed the door shut on a project that could have compromised American safety. Critics may have called his actions reckless, but the belief is that he was acting to protect American lives, not just Canada's ambitions. The decision to tighten border security was seen as a necessary move to counter the flow of illicit substances and human trafficking, which were allegedly funneled through the Detroit-Windsor corridor due to what was perceived as weak controls and sloppy oversight on the Canadian side. The economic fallout and Canada's predicament. The alleged intervention and subsequent delays have had significant economic repercussions, particularly for Canada. The narrative portrays the fallout as brutal for Canada, with factories in Ontario and Windsor grinding to a halt and supply chains snapping. The bridge, once hailed as a symbol of Canadian prosperity and its strong ties to the U.S. economy, is now seen by some as a $5 billion waste. The argument is that Canadian leadership, particularly under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, had gambled everything on a seamless trade relationship with the U.S. and failed to prepare for a more assertive American stance. This viewpoint frames the situation as a stark contrast in leadership. Trump is seen as a lion, acting to protect his people and demanding self-sufficiency from his neighbors. Meanwhile, Trudeau is depicted as a leader making excuses and lashing out with angry press conferences, instead of offering solutions. The economic dependency of Canada on the United States is highlighted, with the bridge serving as a physical symbol of this vulnerability. The claim is that Trump's actions forced Canada to confront the reality that it cannot build its future on the goodwill of another nation and that it must become more independent. The tariffs and retaliation from Canada are dismissed as desperate moves that only further exposed its economic weakness. Strength versus weakness. A tale of two nations. Ultimately, the article frames the situation as a clear contrast between strength and weakness, with the United States under Trump embodying the former and Canada under Trudeau representing the latter. While Canadian leaders are depicted as floundering and whining, Trump is portrayed as a leader who acts on conviction, not for optics. His alleged actions are said to be driven by a genuine concern for American families, including those who have lost loved ones to the opioid crisis fueled by fentanyl. This perspective suggests that the trade dispute is secondary to the core issue of national security and that Trump's move was a strategic decision to safeguard his nation. The article concludes that this trade war is a wake-up call for Canada, forcing it to face its dependency on the U.S. market. It argues that American strength is not just about economic dominance but about a leader willing to make tough decisions for the sake of his people. The contrast is made between a nation that is standing tall and leading and one that is crumbling and begging for scraps. The Gordie Howe International Bridge, in this narrative, is more than just a piece of infrastructure. It is a monument to a new geopolitical reality, where the old relationship of deepening integration is over and the principles of sovereignty and security are paramount.